Pitch Perfect 3. This movie stars Anna Kendrick, Brittany, Anna Camp, Haley Steinfeld, and Rebel Wilson, and this is the third installment in the Pitch Perfect franchise. I don't think anyone would have thought when this movie was first released, when the original Pitch Perfect had been released, that they'd ever get 3 movies, but we're here. And this movie follows a different plot. They've all finished college now, aside from Haley Steinfeld's character, and they have all finished college, and they are basically want to sing again together, and they figure out a way to get onto a USO tour, and it follows that story. It basically follows the same Pitch Perfect story that we've seen before, which is a competition against other groups. And that's the basic format of this franchise, and that is exactly what this franchise is. And now I'm going to quickly talk about the other movies before I get into this one. The first one I absolutely loved. I really, really liked the original Pitch Perfect. I thought it was something so original, so fresh, and just such a great delivery on all these actresses and actors we hadn't seen before, and they gave us something really, really good. And I think a lot of people were surprised at how much they really did enjoy the first movie, and it made a lot of money, which is why they came and got the second movie. Now, the second movie I really did enjoy as well. Not as good as the first one, obviously being a sequel, it had a few things that were different and, you know, maybe didn't necessarily work as good as the first one. But now we're here with the third one. Now, I will start this review by saying this is the least Pitch Perfect movie of the Pitch Perfect franchise. A lot of the things they do in this movie don't necessarily correlate with stuff they did in the first one or even the second one. They generally kind of, you know, all the characters they've established, they might change a little bit, which is something I necessarily didn't like about this movie. And they also did some stuff that, action-wise, that wasn't really necessary in Pitch Perfect. Now, I'm not trashing this movie because I did enjoy this movie. I had a fun time with this movie, but I did realise what it was, and it's not what the first one is. If you watch the first one and go, okay, the first one was really good, I think you'll still enjoy the third one. I did enjoy this movie, but I don't think it is good. I think this movie, songs are really good. They're fun to watch, as all the Pitch Perfect movies are. You have a lot of fun with watching these ladies sing and watching the other groups sing, and you get some really cool songs out of it, and you enjoy watching on screen. As well as the comedy. The comedy, for the most part, in this movie is funny. A lot of jokes do hit, but as any comedy goes, there is jokes that don't necessarily hit. I think they gave us some funny lines, but they did overdo it at some points, particularly with Rebel Wilson's character. Now, again, having a lot of action in this movie didn't really feel too Pitch Perfectly. It definitely, the characters and the songs, Pitch Perfect as hell. You know, you got the same characters. Yes, they tweak some characters, which I won't get into because I don't want to spoil anything, but they tweak a few things, specifically with the character that doesn't really speak, the Asian lady that does that stuff. They changed her a little bit at the end that I won't say I didn't really like. And then Rebel Wilson's character is very action-paced, and they give her own side plot, which I don't necessarily mind. I like a little bit diversity, not just following the competition plot, but having some stuff on the side. And they went with that route, and they had John Lithgow play her dad with the shitty Australian accent, and it didn't necessarily click. You got some fun scenes out of it, and I liked the idea, but then it kind of turned into a weird action movie that you didn't necessarily get. But even with that point, you still got singing in those, actions in the same time. It was weird. The way they did it, it's still, what you'd expect. I'm not saying that they just randomly turned Pitch Perfect 3 into an action movie, but they gave us action scenes that we weren't necessarily asking for. Now, as a huge Pitch Perfect fan, and I'm not afraid to say that, Brittany Snow is my girl, but they did some things differently. I mean, they obviously, not having no college in there, made a huge impact because the first 2 films were based around college, or at least, revolved around college second-wise. But the first one is entirely based, around college. And this one was kind of changed up a little bit, and it worked not as well, I think. It did, you still get the same things. As I said, you get the same things, and you get the same laughs, and, I think you get as much laughs as you get in the second one, and the music's as good as in the first one. I think I'm going to quickly spit out comedy. I think it goes 1, 2, 3. I think music-wise it goes 1, 3, 2. So there, but then movie-wise, I think 1, 2, 3 is the way it goes. I haven't reviewed the other 2, but I think it's not getting worse, but it's not getting better. You know what I mean? They're not bad movies. They're just not as good as the predecessors. But I think missing out on Scarlett Aston's character Jesse, they didn't put him in the film, was a huge bummer because the Troublemakers were awesome and his character's really fun to watch on screen, and they missed a big chunk not having him. But if it's the first Pitch Perfect movie you've seen, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this movie. I think if you've seen the first two, you'll definitely enjoy the movie, but not as much. I think there's definitely things they've done wrong. And still, again, if you can give us a Pitch Perfect movie and people come in to see these, you know, hot, funny women sing, and that is what you see it there to see, and you get that, and it's fun, and, you know, that's the movie. I'm giving Pitch Perfect 3 a C+. Okay, thank you guys for watching my Pitch Perfect 3 review. It is a bit late. America got this about 2 weeks before Australia, and even then I'm about 2 weeks behind in this review because I did a bunch of skits with my boy Nish Movies. You can check them out. And as well, I did a review with him, but I did a lot of, you know, best movies and worst movies and anticipated, stuff like that. Stuff, basically end of year stuff, and it kind of put the reviews on hold for a minute. I obviously was still selling films, but they're there now, so I'm getting there with up to date. I'm not like 30 movies behind. I think I'm 3 reviews I got to do, and even one of them I watched last night. So it worked out itself. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I hope you guys, you know, understood where I was coming from, and I'm a huge Perfect fan. I have both of the movies, and Brittany Snow is my celeb crush. She is my girl. She plays Chloe. She's the redhead in the movie, and that is why I love these movies as well so much. But thank you guys. You can subscribe. You can like, but of course, have a good one.